So today, guys, I'm going to be filming at a high school football game. I'm headed over to Brevard County, and I'm going to be taking you guys with me. I'm going to show you what equipment that I use. It's a lot of specific shots that I like to write down before I go out and film, especially during warm-ups. You know, I think before the game, during pregame, that's where you're going to get all your editing shots, your pregame shots. Those are going to be the ones that you use during the editing process. It's going to allow you to be creative, show the mood of the players. It's going to allow you to show some of the context of the game, where putting their helmet on, putting their cleats on, going through the locker room. You'll get a lot of emotions out of that, and I think that shows the mood and sets the tone for a lot of cinematic videos. So I always like to get to the game at least an hour before. I'll get my equipment set up. All right, guys, so we just got to the game. I got my camera bag here. I'm not going to be using too much equipment today, but during pregame, I'm going to use the 35mm G Master lens. I like to use this to get close-up and wide-angle shots. I'm also going to be using the MKE 600 Sennheiser Mke. I highly recommend this mic. It gives great range, and it allows you to hear all the impacts from a far distance. And I'm also going to be filming during the game action shots with the 70 to 200 GM2. I highly recommend this lens if you're going to be shooting sports. It's very high quality, crispy, and it gives you the best bokeh. The aperture goes to 2.8, so it gives you that bokeh and that blurry background. And then the autofocus on this lens is night and day, especially if you pair it up with a new Sony system. The autofocus snaps like very quickly, so I highly recommend this lens.
First